Рай. Марк Селби и Джо Хиггинс.
And his opponent, without doubt, one of the all-time greats, winner of 10 ranking titles. He won the Masters in 1984. 6 times he's been in the World Championship final. 3 times he's won the World Seniors. Ladies and gentlemen, here he comes, the one and only whirlwind, Jimmy White. It's a carnival atmosphere this evening, but we are in the safe and capable hands of our world-class referee, Leo Scullion. And in the commentary box, it's a very good evening, poised and ready for action to Mike Dunn and all.
Rob, good evening, everybody. Always a tremendous reception for Jimmy White, but a good one for Adrian Ridley as well. And from what I saw, Mike, of Adrian Ridley in his first match when he
Jimmy White to break.
beat Joe Johnson, it's going to be a very attacking match, this.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Thank you, John. He's definitely not shy. He likes to go for his shots. Look, a few occasions, I think we both felt, me and John Parrott at the time, he took the wrong shots on, but he got them, and it worked in his favour. But very impressed with him, likes to pot a ball, and he does know his way around the table. Playing this game a long time. Have a little catch up with him. From Australia, about 4 hours north of Melbourne. But he's got a big task on his hands here, and that's a good opening shot he's played.
Yeah, he's got a good cue ball, but by the looks of it, Jimmy can just get past the yellow to this red for the left corner. There you see it. Type of shot, if you can stroke this in, makes you feel so good about yourself. And that's exactly what he's done. Unfortunately, and as we always say about being close to the baulk cushion, he couldn't do anything with the line that the cue ball was going to take after the pot. So the kiss on the second red did him no favours. As I say, couldn't wind the angle and got the worst possible kiss. Nominating the black. Just coming round off 2 cushions, shouldn't be a problem, isn't it? And it wasn't.
Хіггінс виграє перший фрейм, рахунком 88-0. Так, початок другого фрейму.
Nothing like starting off the first frame with something to settle your nerves. Get one in the pocket and just relax you a little bit. And that's what the guys will be doing. They'll just be easing their way into this game. Adrian's just got to keep this tight. As you know, Jimmy is such a heavy scorer. He hasn't quite hit that thin enough. He wants to try and get the cue ball back up to baulk there, and he's just caught it a bit thick.
Yeah, but the fact that he put his hand up to apologise to Jimmy tells us that there's no red available to this right corner. He's got one to the far right corner, but a lot more difficult than it could have been. And how many times do you see it? Someone plays a bad shot, doesn't cost them anything, they come back to the table with an easy starter.
Марк Селбі набирає 27 очок. В другому фреймі.
There's a shout here to go into the pack from the blue. I'm sure he's looking at it, but with it being the first frame, I think he'll just want to feel his way into it. So I don't blame him. I think if there'd been a few frames in there, he may have even gone into them. Well, half decent attempt, but he doesn't want to be near that cushion. Now he might be attempting this red, he might be a nudge into the black. And almost set himself up on it. What a shot that was, by the way. And this was what was evident the other night. He seemed to cue very straight. Anything that was long and straight and positive, he was knocking in. He's obviously played the game a number of years and grooved his game. Some people have got different strengths, of course. But he's got a very solid cue action. And that's all he could really do there. Just concentrate on the black and almost play this next one as a shot to nothing. Take the white around the back of the black.
He's got a loose red, but surely this time he can't refuse potting the blue and cannoning into the cluster of reds. Just miss the pink. I think that's the way to do it. Just miss the pink on the left-hand side. Plenty of pace. Hit the right ball. It's worked out very nice.
Yeah, what was interesting on that pot red that he did a moment ago is he didn't play it the negative way. I said it was a shot to nothing, but he could have quite easily put the white behind the balk line, but he chose not to. That tells you he's playing the right shots with confidence. Like I said at the start, he is not shy. He knows the right shots.
Well, I don't know if the pink spot is available. Well, it obviously is. He's judged that well, really, because it must have been tight for the referee to get his ball marker out. Anyway, the black is on the pink spot. It is available to the opposite corner to this red. Just needs a accurate positional shot. That was the split, as I say. He refused it first time. He couldn't refuse that one. Now, he's given this a lot of thought. I mean, the obvious shot seems to pot the blue, screw back, play the red to the corner, and then the black to the left middle. He's obviously got something else in mind. Well, he's playing for this red, I think, to the right corner, but... Well, he can play for the black in the same pocket if he judges the pace right.
Well, he hasn't judged the pace right for the black, but he's played a perfect shot on the blue and got the right side of it. Well, I felt in his previous match, he didn't do enough walking around the table. I felt that he'd do some fantastic shots, and then his second or third shot was a little bit quick. But he certainly made up for it with the potting he was doing. But again, that just highlights there a little bit of carelessness. But again, look, it's the first frame. He's doing extremely well. He's proved to us all he can play.
Так, зараз де огляд третьої сесії матчу. Ронні О'Саліван, який стійний перший в рейтингу, і
And that is a
Лука
fantastic
Берцель,
recovery
який
shot.
стійний другий в рейтингу. Турнір World
Unfortunately,
Championship,
he's
який
lost the white.
проходить в
It's going to
Шеффілді.
be a case of who's next, because Jimmy is going to be behind the green.
І так,
Ridley, 48.
включати.
Yeah, that was a nice start from Adrian. Just losing cue ball control, but now a big problem for Jimmy. Comes to the table, 37 points.
Ронні О'Саліван
Behind.
забиває червоний шар в ліву лузу.
And,
Вихід на розовий шар.
well, if he doesn't get
Забиває
it
правий
safe,
ближню
this could be
лузу.
end of frame.
Ронні набирає 15 очок вже. В першому фреймі
Lovely
другої
pace,
півсесії.
lovely pace. Does it reach?
Battle
Oh,
with Adrian Ridley.
and the dreaded
Вихід
miss
на червоний
called.
шар.
It was a perfect line, just under hit it by a fraction.
Adrian, thanks.
Lovely adjustment of pace. Did well to get that safe.
We might think it's safe, John, but believe me, this guy goes for everything.
Well, I didn't realise he could just get round. And if he's hit it too thick, then it was potable.
Так, і Ронні О'Саліван помиляється на червоному шару, набирає 23 очка. Виходить до столу Лука Берцель. Забиває червоний шар в середню лузу. Вихід на синій шар.
That is a fantastic opening red. Now, is he on the black? Well, he's on the pink if he isn't. And I say he's on the pink, it's a very difficult shot. But as we all know with Jimmy, he's one of the best players that's ever lived with the rest.
Yeah, we're trusting to look a little bit for position on the red, but two ways of playing. You can stun it in, but I think the way to play this is with topspin and just drop it in and push through to the reds. If you're lucky not to be on one. Well, as I say, I'd have played it more with topspin than a little stun as he did. So he still needs a good shot to keep this going. But the reds couldn't be better spread. If you can pot this and get position on a colour, it's a good chance.
І Лука Берцель виграє перший фрейм другої півсесії, і рахунок стає 6-3 на користь Ронні О'Салівана. Другої півсесії буде зіграно ще
Once
8
again,
фреймів.
just showing us all how good he is with that rest. And I think he's just crept top side of the blue, only just.
Теоретично Ронні ще може завершити цей матч.
Certainly, there's
Другій
not much
півсесії,
wriggle
якщо
room.
виграє всі фрейми.
He's had a fantastic season on the professional tour, Jimmy has. Stayed on the tour by merit, finishing in the top 4 on the one-year list on the rankings. Believe me, he's had some big scalps this year, thoroughly deserved. So he did have a slight angle, and he's punched it through, a little bit of side on it, and just overrun it a touch.
13.
Once again, he's going to need this rest. And once again, no problems with the pot. And look at the position. Just, I think, top side of blue again. This is an encouraging start, this.
Yeah, we're hoping he can play a couple of shots without having to use the rest here, the way it's going. But that's better. That seems perfect.
19.
Not certain about the availability of the pink or black into the left corner. He could just stun it in and hold for the one of them, or he can play for one in the opposite corner. And that's what he's decided to do. So just having a look. The red closest to the black doesn't go to the left corner, obviously, because the other red's blocking it. So just got to be exact with his positional shot. And just stunning it in, did the business. Although he came to the table quite a few points behind, I think we have a new favourite for the frame now.
28.
Yeah, totally agree, John. Looks very comfortable out there. Of course, these matches now best of 7. As the previous ones were best of 5, so it puts a little bit of pressure on the players. The potential banana skin of losing in the first round. It takes the pressure off and just gives them a bit more time to breathe.
35.
He does look very comfortable out there, but he'll be sending a strong message to Adrian if he can clear these.
Yeah, the fact that he stopped, and as you can see there, he's too straight on the black. So he's taking on the more difficult pink. Offers perfect position, of course. And right in the heart of the pocket. Just let the cue ball run loose slightly. Points now all square. And this time, inch perfect on the black. Up to and including the blue. And as you say, Mike, this will really hurt Adrian. Got Jimmy in all kinds of trouble with the snooker, and I didn't think he'd get through to the red. As it happened, he could. He hit it too thick, so he missed a good chance. And finishing perfect on the blue. Knowledgeable, crucible crowd realised that that was frame ball. So just dot the I's, cross the T's now with this pink.
69.
Good frame, but this is an excellent steal, if you like, from Jimmy White. And played with aplomb. Adrian Ridley got in first, but that mistake on the red gave Jimmy White a chance, and he took it comfortably. He leads 1-0. Yeah, he just had a few problems early on, but oh, well, let's just talk quickly about today. Good result for Ben Hancorn.
Fantastic performance there for Ben, it really was. It was a fantastic match from start to finish. Both players playing very well.
Зараз огляд матчів, в якому зіграє
And what about the next one? Tony Drago, Mark Davis.
Марк Аллен, який третій в рейтингу, і Джек Джонс, який 50-й в рейтингу. Турнір World Championship, четвертьфінальна стадія. Марк Аллен обіграв в другому раунді Бікхама з рахунком 13-4. І в першому раунді Марк Аллен обіграв Hendry з рахунком 10-4. Джек Джонс обіграв Міла Робертсона в другому
These
раунді з
matches
рахунком
now, of course, best
11-7.
of 7. They
І
won't
в
be an
першому
easy one.
раунді Алі
They're
Картера з
playing
рахунком
right the way
10-7.
through.
Також він ще до
So
фіналу грає
Adrian will be a little
Ронні
bit
Осталів
disappointed
Лука
when he lost
Берцель.
that first frame.
Adrian Redley, 3.
Ентоні Макгіл Сіджіан, Джо Хіггінс, Марк Селбі. Тоді грається з 25 фреймів
Yeah, and it was a
з 3 півсесій.
much better start at Jimmy than his last match, but Adrian won't be happy with that break. He's just caught the pack a little bit too thick. Whenever you do that, it puts all the power and pace into the corner red. And of course, that's why it's ended up over the middle pocket. But Jimmy is straight back to the table. Now, has he got an angle? Yes, he has. Is he going to play for the red at the bottom, or is he going into him? It looks as though he's going to go the red at the bottom. You can see it there. And that's just got a natural angle for him to take it on. Bit of bottom on the white. Develop the pack. Screw back. Hopefully be on the black.
Так, чорний шар в ближню праву лузу. Вихід на розовий шар.
9.
Yeah, pretty good. That cue ball, I feel, has just stopped in time. Bit closer to the cushion. This black would have been a lot more difficult, but he's only got to pot it. He's got the perfect angle just to roll the black in. There's a red waiting.
І Марк Аллен виграє 9 фрейм. І буде в цьому матчі з рахунком 6-3.
Well, I'll be disappointed to have missed
Початок
that.
10-го фрейму.
But the fact he got so close, he stopped the red that he was looking for going. Well, you never know with Adrian. Double, is it? It is. And he's got it.
Nailed on double that. He is very, very good at seeing shots, believe me. And there's another one. He's not afraid. He's taking the game to Jimmy. He's attacking. And do you know what? He's very, very unlucky if he's not on a ball here.
Чорний шар,
It's
вихід
double
на червоний.
straight in the centre of the pocket. Clean as you like. Right, Adrian, if he's not on anything, just take a breath. Have a good look round the table. But he will play an open and attacking game, and I don't blame him when he can pot as good as he can.
Well, he's not certain he's desperate for this red to left middle. Of course, he can pot the one to this right corner, but he's hampered. I'm not certain how much control he's got of the cue ball. Back to the red in the left middle. Can he flick a bit of side on the cue ball and make it? Doesn't like it. So he's having to play this, as I say. I don't know how much control he's got of the cue ball with this shot. Easy enough pot.
9.
And that was the problem. Yeah, I mean, he could have hit a red and stayed in the middle of the table, near the cushion. Always missable, these, pink or black. It's tough.
Adrian Redley, 9.
Yeah, there's not a lot of nap on these tables, but believe me, when you're playing slow across the nap, they're always missable.
That was an excellent shot. A lot harder shot than it looked there. You could see he was elevating the back of the cue in the air and almost cueing down on the white. Always difficult to control the cue and see down the cue as well. He did play that well.
8.
Now, is the second red on? Yes, second red out of the 2, push through for the black. He's back in control again. So he's got to push that, put that missed black out of his mind and refocus. We've all missed blacks off the spots. No. This next one's not easy. He's just got to be careful here. Obviously he needs an angle on the black from this, but vital he gets the pot.
17.
Probably a little bit straight, but no problem screwing on and off the side cushion. Could have done with going up a little bit further.
24.
There's a slight problem here. If he can't play for the black, and I don't know whether the blue's available into the right middle. And of course, in potting this, he's got to avoid a kiss on the second red if he can. Well, he did.
25.
And he should be on the pink, you would have thought, if the blue doesn't go. Well, the blue did go, so that's okay.
Так, і Маркален же веде з рахунком
30.
9-5. Ще лишається зіграти 2 фрейма в другій півсесії.
31.
Whatever referee Leo Scullion calls out, that's the lead.
Maybe thankful of that. He just kissed it on the way around and set himself up nicely. I don't think there's a better sight in sport than a Jimmy White, Ronnie O'Sullivan, or even Luca Bressel, current world champion, of course, in full flow. Magical to watch it is at times. It just looks so easy.
46.
So this black, you'd think one more red and he should be home and dry.
Так, зараз де огляд матчу, в якому зіграє
Yeah, let's
Маркален.
load that again. I mean, he's on this red, he's on it to the far right corner, which may be his choice rather than the right middle. Should have been straighter on it, though.
No, yeah.
Рахунок
Later.
8-8. І грається 25 фреймів.
54 points to lead.
Турнір World
This red to
Championship.
go 55 in front, with just 51
І
remaining.
проходить в Шеффілді. Мають за вихід в півфінал.
It's there.
55.
Пари всі грає.
Now, just to rubber stamp
Селбі.
the lead,
Там де
Pot
зіграна
blue
перша
or
півсесія
pink.
і
and that will
рахунок
give
4-4.
Adrian Ridley a mountain to climb, needing 2, possibly 3 snookers.
Так, початок першого фрейму.
In these situations, we see it so many times. See it in the World Championship. Somebody wants 1 snooker and they can be playing on for
Вихід на
20,
чорний.
30 minutes or so. So make certain of the pink. And that will put the frame to bed, you would have thought. 61 the lead now,
Вихід на
51
чорний.
remaining.
61.
This red will certainly keep Adrian in his seat.
Такова номер 24. 17 фрейме.
Jimmy with one thought in his mind now. Treat the audience to a century.
65.
Already seen a couple today. A very high standard at this World Seniors. Now, does this red drop in?
70.
You just sort of play it dead weight and let gravity take over. I don't think you can play it with any pace.
Yeah, same with this one. Roll the blue through. Take the yellow in the green pocket.
Так, і Марк Аллен виграє
It looks about right.
17 фрейм.
Well, this is totally different to the performance yesterday.
Рахунком
And again, it just gives you that little bit more room to breathe. Best of sevens and best of fives, and you can see he's thoroughly enjoying it out there. He looks very focused.
18 фрейму.
Won this event, of course, 3 times before. Also lost in a couple of finals here. But he wants to win this tournament, believe me.
85.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit disappointed with that. Wrong side of the blue. Can't get as close to the pink now as he would like. Ooh, he's playing a big run through now, in and out of balk. Lots of side.
90.
Needs to run. Needs to run. It's getting there. Wonderful shots. Bang on.
$96.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful break.
Так, і Пейдж помиляється на розуму шару, виходить до столу Марк.
Dropping in the black for a wonderful 103 break. Well played, Jimmy White. Adrian Ridley is in trouble. 2-0 down.
Yeah, that's certainly reinforced any message to Adrian. That there's a little bit from the stats. Pot success you can see from Jimmy, 96%, 100% safety. Yeah, he's playing exceptionally well here.
Yeah, and he's playing a dangerous opponent. The only thing is, as we well know, and we say it so many times in this game of ours, Snooker, that you can't take too many liberties. Because if you do, you go back to your seat and you've no right to reply. Mate, you could say that about Luca Brazil in the World Championships just gone. One of the best championships for years.
Yeah, amazing.
Wasn't he a breath of fresh air? And he didn't turn anything down. Amazing. But sometimes you see that run of the ball. When Adrian got in, played the double, potted the black, didn't really come nice on the red, you know. So all the difference, just want the ball to run a bit kinder.
So, Jimmy White to break. And if you remember, Adrian didn't get this break right in the last frame. Let's see if Jimmy's got any better. Jimmy's done the same thing. He's just caught that red to full. Sometimes when you break, if you put the cue ball closer to the brown, it stops this from happening.
1.
It's funny, them balls almost look identical to what Jimmy had. That red, the left of the pack, if it goes, you see it there. It's the same shot. If you remember, Jimmy potted this, ended up near the cushion. Let's see if Adrian can play it any better.
Nine.
Well, he certainly can. He's not near the cushion, which is the main thing. As you can see, the pink and the blue have gone in a very similar position to the last frame. This is like Groundhog Day. Ooh, just over on that a little bit. He's okay. He's quite a tall guy.
Такий рахунок вже стає 10-10. Так, початок 21-го фрейму.
It's just a little bit jabby there.
Adrian Ridley, 16.
You can see the difference when Jimmy plays with the rest. He almost strokes the ball through.
Так, Маркано забуває, що концерт.
Control that nicely. Couple of loose reds. Depends how he's feeling. I don't particularly like going into the pack from the black when they're sort of flatter. So play for a loose red and maybe go up for the pink. Well, he decided to play the cannon. How's your luck? Well, you got a nice little flick there. So he's not too bad. He's not great, but he's not too bad.
Yeah, and I watched Adrian there. A little bit of a look to the heavens when that white squeezed out and finished on this red. Here we can see it. John was right. It's not a very inviting pack, but there's that ball just squeezing over. That could have gone anywhere. Fortunately for Jimmy, he's plumb on it. Well, that was a difficult shot to run through for the black. Because the balls were so close together, there was always a risk of double hitting the white. So that's why he's chosen to screw back and go up for, well, pink or blue as it was.
Так, зараз де огляд матчу, в якому зіграє Ронні О'Саліван і Лука Берцель. Грається третя сесія. Зараз рахунок після двох півсесій, рахунок 10-6 на користь Ронні О'Салівана. Ронні лишається 3 фрейма до перемоги в цьому матчі, щоб вийти в півфінальну стадію турніру World
I've never seen him missed with the rest.
який проходить в
Let's keep
Шеффілді.
it going. He just doesn't miss with it. Fabulous shot.
16.
Believe me, that is a difficult shot he's just played there. Now, does he go around the reds, or does he go into him
Не
again?
забуває червоний
And
шар.
again, they're not the best pack, and he's just weighing up his options. He could pot the black, take the red into the centre,
Вихід на
then go
розовий
into
шар.
the pack from the blue.
Забуває його ближню.
He's got options. It depends, like John said, how he's feeling.
Well, I'd be happy with that.
23.
Whenever you've got a not too difficult pot, this red to the right middle. And he's brought at least another 3 reds into play. Shouldn't have any problem with this red getting on blue or bought colour. Needs to bounce though. And has. Nicely on the brown. And as I say, there's 2 reds in the middle of the table available to the left corner.
Виходить до столу Лука Берцель.
So that's perfect.
Забиває червоний шар.
28.
Вхід на чорний.
29.
Just choosing to take that red just to make a little bit more space for the pink, which I'm sure at some point he's going to be using. He really is hitting the ball nice. He's just stroking that cue ball around the table.
36.
Yeah, and when you're playing on these superfine cloths, there's no reason to hit the ball hard as long as you're getting nicely through it, which he is doing. So I don't know whether he decides to screw back for the black or play for the pink to the right middle. Pink to the right middle. That just made it a lot easier to get position on the open red. He's looking at something just below the pink spot. I don't know, there's a plant there. As I say, he's had a look at something to the left corner. There's two reds, two down from the pink. I don't know whether it's a plant. The fact he's stopping in his tracks, though, means that he's not perfect on this red. Straight, it'd have been automatic, just roll it in for the black. Well, he's probably looking at the red immediately below the pink, see if that was available. I don't think it is. He needs to find a good angle on the colour now off this red.
Так, і Берцель виграє 17-й фрей.
Just managed to squeeze it in. Used all the pocket, but he's nicely on the black. Now there's three reds in a line. The middle one looks the good one to stun into. Well, he didn't catch the middle one first.
51.
Just caught the wrong red there. So he's not got an easy red to continue, but the way the reds are open, if you can pot this red, get on the colour, could be the frame winner. And a 3-0 lead.
He just got to be a little bit careful. He doesn't want to leave Adrian straight back in if anything went wrong. Wants to keep him quiet and keep him sat in his chair if he can and not give him anything easy, so... Straight in the heart of the pocket. That was confidence. That was played with confidence because you can see where that cue ball is. If he'd have missed that, Adrian would have been in, so... He's flying high at the moment. So 43 in front.
60.
Так, і рахунок вже стає 11-7. Лишається рівність, ще 2 фрейми до перемоги в цьому матчі.
So 51 the lead. Just this red to go 52 in front with 51 remaining. Just a little bit twixt in between. But can't see him missing this.
68.
No problem. It's the flick on Mary's flick on the yellow. Hasn't stopped position on the blue. So that means no way back to the table for Adrian Ridley. Back-to-back centuries.
73.
That'd be nice.
74. Oh, Jimmy White, 80.
Well, what a shame. He was looking where to put the rest and forgot the green was there. Never mind. Another very impressive contribution from Jimmy White. And he leads the Australian 3-0. How careless was that?
I still haven't seen him miss with the rest.
No, that's true, yeah. Yeah. No, but that was a shame because it looked for all money he was going to see back-to-back centuries. But as you say, it's amazing how he's played this match. And look at that pot success there. That is impressive at any level.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be too harsh on Adrian because he's had a couple of chances, okay, but when someone's playing as well as what Jimmy is, you've just got to sit there and take it. But he's now got to come out fighting, and he's got to try and take more of his chances. We've seen what happened today. Tony Drago went 3-0 in front against Mark Davis. Absolutely flying. Next thing, it's 3-all.
Thank you. Frame 4.
Зараз огляд матчу,
So it can be
в
done,
якому зіграє
but let's not bring the red up with a cue ball this time, Adrian.
Марк Селбі і
Well, he's
Джо
caught the blue.
Хіггінс. Марк Селбі.
That's a much better
Другий
break than the
рейтинг,
last one.
10-й.
However,
Турнір
he's
ворожий
left a long
Душин.
red for Jimmy, and I think he's going to go for it.
Матч за вихід. Півфінал, де на пару Марк Аллен, Джек Джонс. Парі Марк Аллен, Джек Джонс, рахунок 4-4. І грається з 25 фреймів. З 3 сукцесій.
Well, the way he's playing here is the new tournament favourite for me. Everything is just flying in the centre of the pocket. Let's see what happens on this one. He's got to go into the pack. If he goes for the black, he's got no choice.
Перші дві півсесії граються по 8 фреймів.
Brilliantly played.
І в третій півсесії матч доігрується.
Yeah, and
Початок
a
першого
little
фрейму.
unlucky. He's got a choice of reds to this right corner, hampered by the blue. Is there another one that goes to the left corner? Surely something must go. Out comes the rest.
Джо Хіггінс.
Oh, well, could he got through it? Was he trying to just flick a bit of side on it? Well, you've seen him miss one with the rest, Mike.
Certainly have, and I agree. I think he had a huge amount of left-hand side on that. He was almost trying to bend it round the red next to it. So it was a very difficult shot. Right, come on, Adrian. Let's get you up and running.
Так, Хіггінс набирає 23
Yeah.
очка.
Oh, he got a
Першому
kick.
фреймі.
Looked like a kick to me, John.
Чорний шар в праву лузу.
That looked heavy. Certainly seemed to bobble a little bit.
Oh, he's just having a close look here. I don't know. Looks like it goes. Oh, well, a misjudgment.
8.
And when you're 3-0 down, a best of 7, you cannot afford to make mistakes like that.
Settle down, please.
Yeah, especially against a man. So at the moment,
Це вихід на зелений
he's
шар.
absolutely flying. unexpected visit straight back to the table with the balls everywhere.
1.
It just caught that red on the way through, didn't it?
Yeah, he thought he could get it. Sometimes you try and convince yourself that you can pop balls. A lot of them, when it's tight and they only just go, if you're right behind them, you've got the view of the cue ball, object ball, pocket, all in your eye line. A lot easier than playing it into a slightly blind pocket.
Рахунком 88-0. Так, початок
But Jimmy
другого
won't
фрейму.
mind. He's cueing well. And misjudging that slightly, but still no problem with this red. He'll just have to go up for a, well, pink or a bought colour. But if he can win the frame at this visit, he'll certainly be going into his semi-final with lots of confidence. That's tomorrow, by the way.
15.
That could be some match if that does work out as looks likely at the moment. The whirlwind against the tornado.
Yeah, I mean, who wins that one?
Well, it won't be slow.
Ooh, that was just a little kick. I'm just seeing it bobble a bit again there. That's why he's caught the red on the way down. He's just got to try and get this back. Try and get the white back in control. He's got one to the centre. If he's not on that one, he's played that well there.
Марк Селбі набирає 27 очок в другому фреймі і помиляється на розум.
Leo Robb just cleaning the cue ball.
Виходить до столу Джо Хіггінс.
Even if there's nothing on it, sometimes after a kick, it's just peace of mind. This is a very focused Jimmy White. And just a reminder, we've got King of the Crucible, Stephen Hendry, coming up after this, taking on Alfie Burden. Both of them guys playing very well in the first round matches. So that's going to be some match.
Yeah.
Well, once again, asking for the cue ball to be clean. He's under-hit it, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was a heavy contact. There you go. The old gloved hands. The polisher.
$43.
43. That's the lead. So, you'd think blue, unless he's got a slight angle on the pink. The blue gives him an angle to come down to this end of the table comfortably. And you feel now, and he's just the pace of this one nicely.
48.
48. So 3 more of these remaining reds, and that would surely take him over the winning line. It'd be
49.
impressive, and he'd be really happy with his performance. And that's what you want at the end of any match, to come away from it and really pleased with the way you've struck the ball. So in actual fact, this red and the black would get him to snooker's required. It's just wonderful stuff. Jimmy White rolling back the years.
63.
Yeah, he could have had 3 centuries here, the way he's playing. Apologies to Leo Scullion. I believe I called him Leo Rob. Leo Rob was a referee back in the northeast of England. But Leo Scullion, he refereed my 147 in the German Masters. So I shouldn't be forgetting that name.
70.
Good way of slipping that in, Mike. Congratulations. Yeah. Maximum in match play. Well done. Oh, just missed the cannon. So he needs a double
76.
to keep this break going. And in it goes. And perfect on the black. Well, he robbed us of a century in the last frame. Can he redeem himself in this and make it 2 centuries in 3 frames? Well, that's perfect. Absolutely. Inch perfect. Oh, wow, he's done it again. But he won't be bothered. Adrian Ridley, I'm certain, will congratulate Jimmy. That was just too hot to handle in the end. So Adrian Ridley, but it was nice to see him play. I like the way he plays, a nice attacking style. But Jimmy White, that was top form from Jimmy, and he wins 4-0.
Jimmy, what an absolutely brilliant display. If yesterday was nervy, that was sheer class.
Yeah, I was a little bit all over the place yesterday, and listen, this is such a great venue to play at, and I thought, listen, you've got to try and enjoy it. You know, it's very difficult in sport when you want to win, you know, sort of in the videos after you win. During the battle, sometimes it can be in and out thought process, but today my focus was good. And I'm playing the Tornado. I can't wait.
I know. What a lineup. What a lineup for the semi-final. You first played a professional match in 1987. This is going to be a great match because he was practicing with you almost every day for 10 years, wasn't he? You know each other inside out, back to front.
Yeah, he's always been one of my favourite players. He's very quick, and he played really well today, so I'll have to be on my guard.
It's not going to be slow, is it, ladies and gents?
No, it's not. But, you know, it's a big match, and, you know, I'm so pleased for him to be playing well again.
Yeah, fantastic. And Jimmy, you've treated us to a wonderful evening of snooker. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy White will be back in the semi-finals. We will take a break of 20 minutes. When we return, we have the AB of London Town, Alfie Burden, taking on the King of the Crucible, Stephen Hendry. We will see you in 20.
Є ранній серія помиляється на максимальну сторону, брає 23 очка, виходить до столу Лука Берцель, забиває червоний шар в середню лузу, вихід на синій шар. І Лука Берцель виграє перший фрейм другої півсесії, і рахунок стає 6-3 на користь Ронні О'Салівана. В другій півсесії буде зіграно ще 8 фреймів. Теоретично Ронні ще може завершити цей матч в другій півсесії, якщо виграє всі фрейми. Тоді Ронні веде в цьому матчі вже з рахунком 7-4. Так, зараз огляд матчу, в якому зіграє Марк Аллен, який третій в рейтингу, і Джек Джонс, який 50-й в рейтингу. Турнір World Championship, четвертьфінальна стадія. Так, Марк Аллен обіграв в другому раунді Бікхама з рахунком 13-4. І в першому раунді Марк Аллен обіграв Хандженкі з рахунком 10-4. Джек Джонс обіграв Ніла Робертсона в другому раунді з рахунком 13-7. І в першому раунді Алі Картера з рахунком 10-7. Також в інших четвертьфіналах грає Ронні Саліван, Лука Берцель, Ентоні Макгіл, Сіджіан, Джо Хіггінс, Марк Селбі. Такі граються з 25 фреймів, з 3 півсесій. Так, Марк Аллен забуває червоний шар в ліву ближню лузу. Вихід на червоний шар. Так, Марк Аллен набирає 8 очок в 9-му фреймі. Так, чорний шар в ближню праву лузу. Вихід на розовий шар. І Марк Аллен виграє 9-й фрейм. І веде в цьому матчі з рахунком 6-3. Так, початок 10-го фрейму. Так, Джек Джонс забиває чорний шар, вихід на червоний. Так, і Марк Аллен же веде з рахунком 9-5. Ще лишається зіграти 2 фрейма в другій півсесії. Так, зараз огляд матчів, в якому зіграє Марк Аллен, 3-й в рейтингу, і Джек Джонс, 50-й в рейтингу. І грається 3-я півсесія матчу. Зараз рахунок 8-8. І грається 25 фреймів. Турнір World Championship, який проходить в Шеффілді. Мають за вихід в півфінал. Переможець пари зіграє з парою Higgins-Selby. Там тільки зіграна перша півсесія і рахунок 4-4. Так, початок першого фрейму. Тут Марк забиває червоний шар. Вихід на чорний. Забиває його праву лузу. Вихід на червоний шар. Так, Аллен набирає 25 очок в 17-му фреймі. Так, і Марк Аллен виграє 17-й фрейм. З рахунком 78-10. І ведеться в матчі з рахунком 9-8. Так, початок 18-го фрейму.
as we welcome a man who very much enjoyed his first return to the big stage in 25 years with his comprehensive victory over Ken Doherty in the first round. Can he take a step closer to this prestigious title? Let's find out as we welcome the AB of London Town, Alfie Burden. To his opponent, the second most decorated player in history, winner of 36 ranking titles, and of course, 7 times the king of the Crucible. Here comes the one and only Stephen Hendry.
Такий пейдж помиляється на розуму шару, виходить до столу Марк Аллен. Забиває червоний шар.
Lee is our referee for our second live match of the evening. The men with the microphones, well, they could go on tour. They've got so many stories from their escapades over the years. A very good evening to 2 champions of the world, Cliff Thorburn and Dennis Taylor.
Good evening, Rob. Good evening, everyone. And welcome to this intriguing quarter-final. Alfie has won the toss, and already he's having the cue ball cleaned before he breaks off. That's a first. Never seen that before. I'm with the legend Cliff Thorburn in the commentary box. Looking forward to this one, Cliff.
Yes, so am I, Dennis. I think this was a 9-ball match having the cue ball cleaned, but yeah, and Alfie's well, a winner and very confident. He's got a lot of fans here in the building. Stephen coming up with a good run. That should be very intriguing.
Well, they say if the break off, whatever you do, don't hit the blue, but he's had a bit of a result. White finishing in front of the yellow. But nicely played, that was awkward. Yeah, Alfie played very well against Ken Doherty. I know Ken was expecting to have a good run here. He'd been putting quite a bit of work in, but Alfie started off well. I get an early 60 break that helped the situation, and this is an early chance to cut this one in here. Just a little bit pacey. So we'll have to tuck in behind the yellow here.
Alfie Burden, 1.
I think Alfie's coached by the great Patsy Fagan. And I just sort of saw a little bit of Patsy's aiming there, just putting a bit of right-hand side on the cue ball. Wow, look where that came through. That was impossible, looked like, but anyways, funny for some, but a good opportunity here for Alfie very early on.
1.
Yeah, of course, Patsy Fagan, who you mentioned there, won the United Kingdom Championship way back in 1977. Was a terrific player, Patsy. But Alfie's quite a talent.
Такий рахунок вже стає 10-10.
It's a long, long time since, but I used to pop along when the Masters was on in London to Neasden, where Neil Foulds, Jeff Foulds used to play, and I've, had a few practice sessions with Alfie. Very talented.
9.
I'll tell you what, he'd like to take that one again.
And that was a complete miss-hit. Didn't get hold of the white at all, obviously. And, was trying to get the cue ball down to the back cushion.
Alfie 9.
He's played a lot of competitive snooker. Good match player. Stephen blocked off from the going up the right-hand side of the table as we see it. That's a shot that you have to know, and of course that you'll be playing a lot as a professional. Whenever you're successful at that shot, you'll probably be in the same place that you were before going off the side cushion. That's what's happened. It'll get going, though, shortly.
Well, that's what you call potting your way out of trouble, but does the black pot into the middle? I don't think so. Well, maybe it does. Yeah. What a shot this will be. There you see it. And there you don't. What a great opening pot. And to get on the black was exceptional.
8.
I know today we're still talking about a black he missed off the spot against Darren Morgan early in the match, but he pulled off a shot probably not quite as difficult as this, but in the final frame against Darren, lovely drag shot and won the frame. Darren never got a chance. Made a, I think it was 79 break. So this is a bit of a chance here.
Yeah, I think once he got going after those, I think he missed 2 blacks
16.
off the spot, but you know, once he got going after that, Dennis, he went from strength to strength.
17.
Yeah, seems to be pretty, well, his focus is very good, let's say that, and to roll the long one in, and then the short one, so to speak, the black and the side, both went straight in with no pace, and that really has to be good cueing.
Well, he needs a good cannon here. How's your luck? It's not too bad. There's a possible couple of pots to the left middle pocket.
На червоному шару виходить до столу Берцель. Забиває червоний шар.
25.
Never played each other, these two players.
Вхід на чорний.
Just made it a little awkward with the blue being off its spot. So he's got the green, but the brown would be a better ball to get up to the reds, I feel. The green's the easier pot, but he's looked at the green. He's now looked at the brown. He's having a glance at the reds. Brown definitely the better shot for position.
Well, that was a bit lively, Dennis, but I don't know if that red below the pink goes. I was wondering about that before, but he'll be going back up the table again for a black color or possibly the blue.
37.
They're not perfect, these reds. They're all blocking each other into both corner pockets. The two to the left are okay. He could have played that a little better. He's left himself a tricky pot now.
Yeah, the cue ball looks like it has to go into the reds on a back cut here, and he's not guaranteed to be on a color. Oh, but it's a plant. Well, that's with my Canadian eyes. That looks like he might not be able to get at that one, Dennis.
I think you might be right, Cliff. I think the pink could be in the way. But we'll see. He's having a long, hard look at it. No, nothing wrong with those Canadian eyes. The pink is slightly in the way.
That's a very telling shot coming up here. This is, I've never liked shooting these shots, not knowing where the cue ball is going.
740.
It's not a bad result from there, Dennis, but a good break.
Well, as you mentioned, Alfie's got quite a bit of support here. Travelled up from London, but as long as they don't shout out at the wrong time, nothing wrong with making a little bit of noise, but you got to time it.
One.
Is he going to be on the blue? I think he is, because he's coming around to look at the reds, so he can pass the brown to get the blue, and just look at the reds now. See, the two reds is closest to the pink won't go into the left corner as we look at it, but if he can get the one that's next to the black out of the way in a few shots time, it'll clear those two reds into that pocket. But this is a decent chance, although that's not the best angle. Used the other red, and it's okay, it's available into the middle.
Так, рахунок вже стає 11-7. Лишається рівність, ще 2 фрейма до перемоги в цьому матчі.
Just looking there to see if those reds will go, but surely if he takes the one next to the black, definitely clears the path for one of those two reds near the pink.
$15. Sure. 22.
Yes, it looks like there's plenty of red room for the reds to go past the pink. Pink doesn't look like it goes. He might be giving the other ball a rub there.
23.
There you go. And Wally's in good position now. Stephen sat in his chair wondering, well, how can this possibly end in my favor? It doesn't look good.
Yeah, he'd have to play a careless shot with Alfie, and at the moment, he doesn't look like doing that.
30.
It's a delicate little one, but shouldn't be a problem. Oh, any harder, it might have stayed out that. He's glancing at the scoreboard, but he's just 8 in front, and he's going to have to leave a medium length pot because of the angle he has in the blue. So this is a little bit of a tester here.
37.
Oh, and this is perfect. It's just a natural angle to drop on the yellow.
Зараз де огляд матчу, в якому зіграє Марк Селбі і Джо Хіггінс. Марк Селбі. Другий рейтинг,
very
Джо
good,
Хіггінс 10-й.
Dennis, looks
Турнір
ominous for
Championship.
Steve, but yeah,
Четвертьфінальна стадія.
he's queuing very
Матч за
well here.
вихід. Півфінал, де на пару Марк Аллен, Джек Джонс. Парі Марк Аллен, Джек Джонс, рахунок
Just needs
4-4.
the yellow and the
І
green.
грається з
Leaves
25
Steve maybe
фреймів
needing snookers.
46.
з 3 підсоців.
Everybody's good with the rest now. I remember some of the pros and, years ago. You know, if they were using the rest, you might be favorite, like to win the frame. But, everybody plays well with it now. But
І в третій підсесії
more of
53.
a victory lap here.
початок першого фрейму.
Great opening frame. Stephen was in. He had a break of 40. Looked like he was going to score enough to win the frame, but he missed a tricky one with the rest. And Alfie has just stepped in and, well, he hasn't looked like putting a foot wrong here. It doesn't matter about the black. It might be in the middle pocket anyway. No, it's not. But what a response from Alfie Burden there. Stephen with the earlier break of 40. But that was a superb frame-winning break from Alfie, and he leads the 7 times champion of the world, Stephen Hendry, by 1 frame to 0. Very talented player, this fella. I mean, ranking events, he's been in the quarterfinal 4 times. Probably should have done more in his career, but here he is as in the seniors. Very talented footballer. You know, he played for Arsenal for a couple of seasons, schoolboys, and broke his leg, and that sort of spoiled his football career. But a wonderful left-handed cueist, and he's good to watch, Cliff, isn't he?
Well, the one thing I noticed that Dennis is his presence at the table. He really, looks like he can dictate things. But yeah, he's got a great all-around game and looks very confident too. And that's when you're playing somebody like that and he's doing the business, you realize that you've got your work cut out for you. But as a matter of fact, I met his son just backstage here, and his son's a very good footballer as well, and plays for one of the junior teams, of the big boys, so to speak. And so a lot's rubbed off there. Of course, well, and there's only Stephen Hendry at the other side of the table, but yeah. We'll see what Stephen's got up his sleeve. I mean, that was a tricky red that he missed with the rest, but 1-0 down.
Very good break off from Stephen. He's left a red to the right corner. But Alfie won't be entertaining that because of the angle. It will be going over towards the black and red there, so he'll play a safety shot here. Ever seen that shot before, Cliff? Cliff Thorburn. That was called a dump shot. Cliff Thorburn introduced that safety shot where you leave the white up here, dump the red up the other end of the table. But they call it throughout the World Championship. A lot of the commentators was just saying, yeah, he's played a dump shot, but that's exactly what it is. And I think the pink goes. I'll tell you what, that was some opening pot. Now he's in first here again. He looked good in the opening frame and just got himself slightly out of position on his 40 break.
7.
Let's see if he can do a little better this time. He'll have to do because his opponent's playing well. This is superb from the cue ball in the jaws like that. You won't see a better shot than that.
В другому фреймі і помиляється на розовому шару. Виходить до столу Джо Хіггінс.
Nicely done. Red to get on the black in the same pocket. Got a nice tempo, Stephen Hendry. I've just watched him ever since he started playing. When I did an exhibition up in Scotland, he was 12, I think, and we had a best of 3 and he knocked in an 84. I just quietly took him aside and said, hey, this is my deal here. He was very good about it. Just tempo. See, one of the things, too, is that when he's playing well, well, I mean, all the great players, they just seem to be hitting the ball the same speed all the time. It's like that would, it almost dictates which red that they take. And they're just rolling the ball. And like Jimmy White's doing the same thing right now. I've never seen Jimmy hit the ball so softly and so accurately, but it's got a lot to do with the cloth. But Stephen's just going right along here nicely, and don't think he's thinking about that ball that he missed with the rest, Dennis.
29.
Well, listen, if he can cut out the unforced errors, he's looking very good here. He's going to have to maybe go for the blue this time. He wanted to be straighter on this red. He just decelerated slightly on that one. Now he's going to have to leave a medium length pot, and he didn't want to be doing that. Now this is a bit of a test. You want to be keeping close control rather than leaving a bit of distance between them. Oh, well played.
42.
Very well cued there.
Yes, that last red showed a lot, Dennis. Straight in the heart of the pocket.
47.
Right side of the blue. And he's almost got another shot like that.
48.
A little trundler kind of a shot here. Into the pack. A little bit of luck.
You know, he'll always play the attacking shot. If this works out, he could win the frame, but keep your eye on the black. It's the most important part. How's your luck, Stephen? It could be better. He might be able to get through to 1 for the right corner, but he couldn't have played that shot any better. Is there a gap? There might be.
That's going to be a little bit tight here for the red into the corner. I don't think he can.
62.
No, he can't pot the red on the other side there. But if worse comes to worse, he can play this bottom red. Probably have to get the long tackle out. But this is a little shot here that I don't know what he's doing here.
I think he feels he can pot this up into the corner, but that looks very tight, Cliff. I think he might have to cut his losses. Your shot's a good shot with the rest. The one nearest the black, play to cut that in and get the white up. Now this is a thin snick as well, so...
This is a real finesse shot here.
Лука Берцель, який сильний, другий в рейтингу.
262.
Yeah, well, he's hit it firm enough to cover the red over the pocket. Alfie said a little bit to Stephen there. They go back quite a bit, long ways.
Yeah, he pushed the boat out a little there, Stephen. He knew if he had to cut that difficult one in, it would have been frame ball, but nevertheless, 62's not a bad lead, especially with that red on the right side cushion.
Вихід на розовий шар, це була його праву ближню лузу. Роні набирає 15 очок вже. В першому фреймі другої півсесії. Вихід на
Not a
червоний шар.
straightforward run back to safety. There's a lot of obstacles in the way here. Whichever red he chooses, he could cannon into the one to the right, he could cannon into the one to the left. That's why he's taking his time here. Well, he took the opportunity to bring that difficult red into play.
Yes, a very good shot, and just worked out to be the only shot that he could play, really. Stephen just going to try and leave the cue ball down by the yellow ball pocket, and obviously now the red that's over the pocket is still covered. And Alfie has to get the cue ball back down the table again. So maybe a thin snick on this red, the cue ball going towards the black, around the behind the black and back up into Bach, but he could hit one of the Bach colors and that would be a problem, but oh, he's played a wonderful shot there. I think that's street smart, Dennis, is it?
Yep, this is just a delicate little one off the side cushion. I mean, Stephen against Darren Morgan, he won a frame needing a snooker. You know, we've known Stephen, well, as you said, since he was 12. He doesn't win many frames when he needs a snooker. Yeah, Stephen always used to say that safety was overrated.
Yeah, Stephen used to just chuck in the frames, just needing one snooker, because if he stopped going for pots even for 5 minutes or so, he always felt that his cue action would be affected by it. So, very, very smart. And some people thought that he wasn't very good at laying snookers or playing safe, but this is a wonderful shot here. Oh, wonderful shot. They're just missing the red coming down off of one cushion. And that's about as good as it gets.
He's 54 years of age now, Stephen Hendry, and he's developed a safety game in the last couple of days. We hit that too thick. That's a mistake. That could be costly. And there's not a ball safe on the table. And we've seen what happened in the opening frame.
One.
Yes, anything but thick on that safety shot. Just something that you not supposed to do, but Oh, Alfie's playing at a nice pace. Oh, beautiful cue ball there.
Seven.
He just looks like he's wanting to go out there and get it, Dennis.
Well, you don't lose many frames when you make a 60-plus break, but that's a possibility here, the way Alfie's cueing. He's obviously been putting a lot of practice in, because he's definitely not rusty, that's for sure.
Ронні веде в цьому матчі вже з рахунком 7-4.
20.
Little bit of an angle here, as you could see. It's just that one over the left side of the table, but it's far enough away from the cushion to drop in behind it and leave it for the right corner or the middle.
29.
Not a good angle on the pink, though. He's got to put a little bit of work into this. Top spin. That's pretty good. So this is the key.
35.
Checking the scoreboard. He's still always having the white cleaned. So it's all about this red with the rest. Usually you'd play for the blue to make it as easy as possible to get to the yellow. But he's got a choice. He can play for pink or black, anything he wishes, but the blue would be the easier one. And would you believe it? Is he going to get away with this? Is the blue going to come to his rescue? I don't think so. Did all the hard work. But he didn't really want to be leaving that red with the rest. It was the shot before that that let him down.
1.
Yeah, it's almost like his arm got stuck there when he was, he couldn't follow through. He was stretching or something like that. But Stephen's got to be relieved that not only did he miss it, but Alfie now needs snookers. Yeah, this would have been too much for Stephen to be 2-0 down with having played the way that he has.
Stephen Hendry 6.
Well, he might concede now, yeah. He needed a couple of snookers, so it was imperative that he hit that yellow. He didn't. He's conceded, and Stephen Hendry, with the aid of that 62 break, gets himself back on level terms. It's 1 frame each. Well, Alfie has gone out of the arena there. He'd be a little bit annoyed because, although he was so far behind, he was favourite until he missed that red with the rest. It's a shot he didn't want to leave himself, but the position on the colour determined the way he had to play that last red, and he missed it with the rest, but there we go. But Stephen looks very focused, Cliff.
Yeah, he looks like he's, well, I mean, he doesn't look like he's going to miss, to be honest with you. And, it's always a big surprise. It's been a big surprise for many, many years now when he misses. But, now he's starting to look like he can clear up again. And, yeah, looks very, very focused. We see him practicing every day. And, he's got all the parts now that he's got his new safety game, Dennis.
But we're waiting for Alfie to come back into the arena, and we'll rejoin you with the commentary when he comes back.
Другому раунді біками з рахунком 13-4. І в першому раунді Маргалан обіграв Канженки з рахунком 10-4. Джек Джонс обіграв Ніла Робертсона в другому раунді з рахунком 13-7. І в першому раунді Алі Картера з рахунком 10-7. Також в інших четвертьфіналах грає Ронні Саліван, Лука Берцель,
Third frame, Alfie Burden to break.
Ентоні Макгіл, Сі.Джі.Лан, Джо Хіггінс, Марк Селбі. Тоді грається з 25 фреймів, з 3 півсесій.
Well, that was a nice break off. You see just how tight that the white ball came around the two, the black ball cushion, side cushion in between the pink and the blue. They weren't doing that in the World Championships because of the cloth, and now it just seems to be, the angles have changed just a little bit here. So a very good break off, and another, a tap on the table by Alfie. Or a good safety shot by Steven.
Вихід на червоний шар.
Oh, beautiful shot there. Haven't seen too many of those shots played, to be honest with you. That
Чорний шар ближній правий лузу.
with the red that far up the cushion, and well, you can't strike it any better. Brown on the side. Oh, just putting so well. Very clinical, but black's tied up, pink's tied up. And, has to dislodge him or back up for the blue.
6-3. Так, початок 10-го фрейму.
He's looking, well, he has to develop something, and he's certainly thinking about that.
6.
And there's that nice angle on the blue ball to spread the pack. It is a bit of a fine art to actually, when you pot the blue on the side and then hit the pink dead on, keeping the cue ball there. Well, look at that. He just parked the white ball there. That was a very accurate shot.
Чорний шар, вихід на червоний.
Pink's opened up.
He's not happy with that positional stroke. He's come up a bit short on the blue. Yeah, had to leave himself distance between cue ball and object ball, but he should be okay.
17.
Bit of a stretch though, and I don't think he's all that comfortable with the rest. He missed one in the last frame. Safely in, as long as the white pulls up.
18.
That's okay, as long as it's before the baulk line, you're okay. So one more good positional shot and he's back in business here. And there's Patsy Fagan with his wife Jeanette there. Patsy, as I told you, the UK champion, 1977, working with Alfie. Is he a world professional coach like yourself, Cliff? Is he? Not sure if he's got all the qualifications, but he certainly knows his way around the snooker table.
Well, he might not have the like the certificate, but knowing Patsy, he probably does. But he's just a wealth of information and a very, very good match player in his time. Was one of the the premier gamblers because there weren't many tournaments in those days. Nobody wanted to gamble with Patsy. Once again, Alfie ending up on the wrong side of the blue, and that happens sometimes when you're concerned about going too far, then you don't hit it hard enough. But wow, what a curist! But with just the one available color, black tied up, it's going to be a bit of hard work. Pink in the middle, back down the table. Nice clean pot there. And, well, if he doesn't go too far, we might be able to play a cannon and pot the red and just leave the cue ball where the red to the right of the red that he's going to shoot. He can just stay there with the cue ball.
34.
This could open up the game here, Dennis.
Yeah, the previous shot he played to travel all the way up and down the table and leave himself on that red to be able to develop the black was first class. I still in pretty good position here. When the pink's respotted, he should be okay. Or the black, I should say.
42.
But is he? Oh, that's tight. He might have to bend that. He's hit the black.
Foul.
Wow.
Alfie Burden 42.
He had to play it with a touch aside and hit the black. He'd done all the hard work and just left himself awkward on the black. Hasn't left anything. But I'm sure Stephen Hendry would be pleased to be at the table. He thought Alfie was going to make enough to win the frame. Look at that. He was having to play with a little bit of left-hand side and just threw it into the black.
Yeah, the cue ball didn't really have time to bend there, but he didn't take very much time. I'm just surprised. Maybe Patsy might mention something about that shot after it's all over. But he's out, he's just raring to go, Alfie. Nobody likes to make a foul shot from that position.
Well, is there a gap? Oh, there's always a gap. That's okay. This is a decent chance here to get right back into this frame.
Так, зараз де огляд матчу, в якому зіграє Марк Аллен, 3-й в рейтингу, і Джек Джонс, 50-й в рейтингу. І грається третя півсесія.
Little finesse shot there, played to perfection. Looked like the cue ball might have sat on that red, but
І грається 25
a lot of
фреймів.
freedom there now.
Турнір World Championship,
15.
який проходить в Шеффілді. Мається вихід в півфінал. Переможець
16.
пари зіграє з парою Higgins-Selby. Там тільки зіграна перша півсесія і рахунок 4-4. Так, початок першого фрейму. Марк забиває червоний шар. Вихід на чорний.
24.
Забиває його праву
There
лузу.
doesn't seem to be a lot of mileage with the cue ball here,
Вихід на червоний шар.
which could be ominous. But both players have with excellent touches and not looking like they're going to miss it all.
32.
Так, Алан набирає 20
Did you ever
очок.
practice with Steve and Dennis? It was a lot of fun.
В 17-му фреймі.
Occasionally used to go up to Spencer's club where they all played. John Higgins, Stephen Maguire, Billy Snadden used to play up there. And of course, John Higgins. So managed to get a few sessions with all those boys. Now this is the key shot coming up here.
40.
Oh, it's finished awkward. The blue's in the way. He's going to need the spider.
46.
That has made such a difference. Just an inch either way. If he knocks this in, don't fancy this. That is awkward.
Так, і Марк Аллен виграє 17-й фрейм.
746.
З рахунком 78.
Great effort, but just finishing awkward. I think he would have cleared the lot, but for that awkward
Так,
striking.
початок 18-го
Oh, this
фрейму.
looks good. This looks very good.
Yeah, I think Stephen, after potting the red and then shooting the pink, just left himself a little bit low on the pink, so the cue ball just, well, it's not supposed to go back up towards the blue there, but a good hit. And I think you might have got away with it there, Dennis.
Oh, this red, if you were right in behind it with the cue ball, I would fancy it, but this distance, he's got to be so accurate with this.
Yeah, the same shot that he had before that just barely went in, if you can remember. Oh, another, well, that's a wonderful pot. A lot of finesse there.
Так, і Пейдж помиляється на розовому шару. Виходить до столу Марк Аллен.
6.
Забиває червоний шар.
Alfie needing the pink ball to leave Stephen Hendry needing snookers.
Keeps looking at the scoreboard, does Alfie, but I'm sure he's worked out what he needs.
$15. $20.
But unlucky with the position. Hampered himself with the blue. This pink for the frame. And it's safely in. So you would have to say, in the end, Alfie Burden pinched that frame from the 7 times former champion of the world. And he now leads 2 frames to 1. Oh, he's got himself psyched up there, Alfie. You could tell by that picture, and then a little wink to one of his friends. Got a lot of supporters here. Maybe looking over at Patsy. And Patsy, yeah, look at that. Jane himself up. That's Patsy there. Patsy looks more tense than Alfie does, Cliff.
Well, actually, when we saw Alfie get jeered up there, Patsy was just, putting his palms down, like both the palms down, like just, easy, just take it easy, because you can get a little bit pumped up. Well, I mean, he is obviously with all of his fans here, but Yeah, Patsy just saying, just relax. But sometimes, yourself doesn't, you don't listen to yourself, do you?
Look at that lineup there. I mean, Ben Hancorn, he played fantastically well against Gerard Green. That was a wonderful match. He's had a century, and I mean, Jimmy was awesome against Adrian Ridley. Never got much chance. Jimmy was fantastic, and Tony Drago to win on a deciding frame, and what a matchup that is tomorrow, eh? The Tornado versus the Whirlwind.
Yeah, I think that the shot clock, not the shot clock, but the clock that keeps track of your time per shot. I think that Tony's probably at least 5 seconds faster than Jimmy each shot, but yeah, Tony's pumped up, and whoever wins this match is going to have a tough match against Ben.
Такий рахунок стає 10-10.
I like Alfie's presence around the table.
Так, початок 21-го фрейму.
Sometimes that's the only shot that you can play.
Так, Марканов забиває червоний шар. Право ближнє лузу. Вихід на
Defensive-minded Stephen Hendry.
One.
Didn't quite get a hold of that one, but
4.
cue ball coming down the table going towards the red, but bit of a stretch, I guess, but he's got his hand on the table. That's a lovely shot. Low on the black, and yeah, a great opportunity here. I think he's just going to hit the balls hard here and not try and kick out one of these reds.
Well, I'll tell you what, that will really annoy Stephen, because he missed a black off the spot like that against Darren Morgan, and he was livid with himself. He's gone and done it again. After looking so good, to miss a black off the spot like that will really hurt. He left himself a bit straight on the black here, but you see, he was thinking about the cannon and just took his concentration off the pot there.
Yeah, we call it too much cue ball. You're thinking about the white ball too much.
8.
Yeah, surprising miss, and he's left Alfie with an opportunity here to spread the balls open.
9.
Now that's a case of he hit it too good, too well. He got through the balls there with relative ease there. Oh, this is a lovely shot here, Dennis.
Oh, what a shot he's pulled out there, Cliff. I mean, almost on the cushion. That was a gem. To get the white over into that position from where he was as good a shot as you'll see. That didn't look on, but he raised the butt in the air and forced that white over there.
Герой набирає 23 очка в 11-му фреймі і помиляється на червоному шару. Виходить до столу Лука Берцель.
I know someone that's really enjoying this, Cliff. Good fellow countryman of yours there.
Yes, Vito Puopolo from Toronto, and won the Pan American Senior Championship to qualify for this tournament. You know, he could have played better against Tony Drago, but Tony didn't let him play. And but he's in the front row here, and he's learning as much as he possibly can, and soaking in the atmosphere. And sometimes seeing a top player miss an easy shot will, you know, it'll make you feel a little bit better. But all in all, Tony Drago played unbelievable against him, and Vito's a wonderful gentleman. He's over there with his wife, and watching Alfie Burden trying to make a frame-winning break here.
25.
Well, I'll tell you what, the split, he got really into them when he opened the reds up. I mean, that was a wonderful positional shot. And he couldn't have them better placed here.
32.
Can you believe it? That was a lapse in concentration.
32.
He's covered the red that's over the pocket, but there's one to the left middle. Well, Stephen's got to regain his composure because, as I say, when he missed the black off the spot, he'd have been furious with himself. Good opener.
Yes, it sure looked like Alfie took his eye off that ball, because he was on to to shoot the black almost before he shot that. Oh, look at that, Stephen. Well, that'll just about oh, that's going to make him. Well, it's unexplainable, isn't it?
He looked so cool up to missing that black off the spot, and you know, he's just handed a golden opportunity back to Alfie there. And make no mistake, Stephen would have been trying so hard here, because you know, when you, Alfie's got a lot of support here, and that will gee Stephen up. And the way he was playing earlier on, I think it was a help, because he looked so good, but that black off the spot and that pink, you can't win if you're missing those. I mean, where did this come from? Just watch the backhand. Well, it looked okay, just must have hadn't the ball. You know, he didn't have it lined up correctly. Oh, what's happening? It's catching.
Alfie Burden 7.
Now, if Stephen can compose himself, Alfie's getting a little anxious now. He's missed a couple of easy balls. Hasn't left anything here. Stephen could knock this red in to the right of the green. That would get his confidence back again, but this is tough.
He's not going to be leaving anything, only the ball that he shoots. Well, nobody's changing their style. They're still going for their shots, but oh, some surprising misses here.
One.
Well, that's got to make him feel a little better. Well, a lot better, obviously. You know, you're thinking, I mean, you know, you make a shot like that, and then, you know, but missing the red before that was, it's just unbelievable. Just lost his focus. Thinking about something else. Sometimes you can think about technique too much as well. This game, it'll, you know, it's a kind of game that when you're on top, you're thinking, well, you know, this is never going to end, and then all of a sudden you're thinking, will it ever come back again? Just like that.
Well, he's given himself plenty of thinking time here to make sure he gets this right. He's convinced that one will tot to the left middle, and he's hoping the one
8.
next to the pink will tot. It might only go in the corner. I'm not sure if it goes in the middle. Yeah, it'll have to be the corner. Oh, yes.
9.
Looking good again. Well, that'll do. That little nudge is on the one next to the yellow. Just needs one more red after the green. And that's just about perfect. If it bounces off the cushion a little.
19.
So there's just possible 51 remaining on the table, and Alfie's 53 in front. So the pink to keep Stephen in his seat. Doesn't matter about missing the cannon on the red. Stephen won't come back to the table.
26. Alfie Burden 26.
Yeah, he just holds his hand up, concedes the frame. A few misses in that frame from both players, but in the end, it was pretty comfortable for Alfie Burden, and he now leads 3 frames to 1. Still looking over at Patsy Fagan.
Зараз де огляд матчу, в якому зіграє.
Do you know, Cliff, well, we've known Stephen for so long, and he can get a bit harsh on himself. He did against Darren Morgan. He missed the black off the spot, and he just said it was unforgivable. He didn't want to play on anymore. And then he played that wonderful last frame against Darren Morgan, and he looked so good here, you know, in the early part of this match. And then he misses the black off the spot, and it got to his head, because then he missed an easy pink. But I think it's because he's just, I mean, what he's done in the game is incredible. So he, you know, he's in the seniors now, but he does get a little bit harsh on himself.
Well, it just seems like he's thinking about technique more than anything. I don't think he's thinking negative at all. Just no, he's just trying to maintain something that he's been working on, and but you know, his tempo is good, and it's, you know, it's beautiful to watch. But yeah, very, very surprised, and you know, disappointing for all the fans too. The fact that he's down 3-1 right now. He's got a lot of work to do. He's got to be thinking that, you know, he doesn't really want to miss a pot in the next 3 frames, and that's possible. You know, playing a few safety shots and playing the game the proper way. But Alfie's tough. He's going to be spreading the balls up here. Not really knowing where the cue ball's going, but he's left Alfie an opportunity. Alfie has proved in this match that he likes these particular shots.
Not sure if this red passes the black. Must be tight. No, it doesn't go, so Alfie's got away with that somewhat. The red he missed, he could have stuck it up, but he was lucky to get it safe there. That's a bit too narrow. He was trying to get in behind the green, but misjudged it slightly. I know the bookmakers had Alfie favourite for this match. But the way Stephen set off, it looked as if he was going to make things very tough for Alfie. Look where this is finished.
He could have hit that much firmer. And, oh, tit for tat.
Тоді Хіггінс виграє перший фрейм з рахунком 88-0. Так, початок другого фрейму.
Another shot under hit. Yeah, Stephen would, if he, well, he'd love to play just a, you know, a watertight frame, so to speak. Dennis, I'd just play a perfect frame if he can. But Alfie's leaving a lot of distance between the cue ball and the object ball.
Well, he's mishit that. Far too thin. As I say, I think Stephen has lost a little bit of focus, and it's all down to missing that black off the spot, followed by an easy pink. So just lost a little bit of rhythm.
Foul.
Oh, that's a foul.
Still 100 full.
But he hasn't left anything. We've seen it sometime when the ball jumps up and runs along the rail and into the pocket. That's a legal shot. But once it leaves the table and finishes on the floor.
Look how lively the draw was. Incredible. Might just be able to get at the pack, but it's really tight, isn't it?
В другому фреймі і помиляється на розум шару. Виходить до столу Джо Хіггінс.
Alfie asking Stephen if he wants to have a re-rack right now. Now, has he left or right on the side? Oh, never going to have a re-rack.
Yeah, I think that's the first one. So it was an early re-rack, but I wondered what Alfie had said to Stephen, so he's quite happy to take the re-rack. Can he regain his focus? Because he's up against a player who's playing very well, but Stephen himself was cueing well. So we know that Alfie's really keyed up for this. You could see that when he was looking at his friends and across at Patsy, his coach, Patsy Fagan. There is Patsy. He's looking well, Patsy. Yeah, you mentioned about money matches. He used to go around with his manager, and he took some beating when you were playing money matches against him. And he'll have taught Alfie a lot of ring craft.
Excellent choice of words there. But yeah, I think well, Patsy was almost unbeatable there for a couple of years. He was playing, some of the, the pros, and well, before he won the UK. He was a real handful. And a real student of the game. More so now than ever, I think. Well, a good break off. Since he hasn't left a red sticking out. That's
One.
Stephen put his hand out. And, I like it when they do that, but do they mean it?
Well, you know he wants to attack everything, Stephen. There's no thoughts in rolling up behind the green. But this is tough. Well played. Now, is he on anything? It was very difficult to get onto a red. No, he's just going to get the 4 extra points there.
5.
Well, that looked like a real waste of a good shot, didn't it? Yeah, he was in a difficult position there.
105.
No control over the white that way. Blue was in the way. Yeah, that's a good shot. Just the way that the cue ball came off the 2 cushions there. Like, you know, it's almost like you're playing a break shot every time. And some people are really proficient with that. If you can get it like around the angles, like a ba-boom kind of a thing, it's always a good result. Always.
But what it did do, and what I liked about his last safety shot that Alfie did play, he cleared the black. The black was tied up somewhat. Another good safety here. I'm just wondering if Stephen can take this pot on, or he'll do well to avoid the cannon on the red and black. Nah. Is he going for it? Oh, this is risky. Got to get this right. Well, he didn't get it right.
Yeah, he's got the thicks. That's it's nice to be able to overcut those shots and then get back down the table. You have a hitting it thick. It's almost a sighting problem. But he was tight on the cushion.
Well, he might take a similar shot on again. That red will cut back into the right corner, but he got the same problem with the red and black, so this time playing back to the balk, and he'll try and wobble this in the jaws. It goes in, bonus. Wow! What about that little beauty? The boys shaking their head there. Now that was rolling back the ears. That was a Stephen Hendry vintage pot there. Worth another look.
A remarkable shot. And now, the first color I looked at there, well, the brown's good, and then, but then the blue is perfectly placed. Doesn't want to overrun this one. Looks like that looks pretty good.
6.
Now, can he maintain this?
7.
Well, at least he doesn't have to do much for this, but if he rolls the black and he can leave the red next, but look at the white. Couldn't have finished any more difficult.
But that's got to be the pace of the table, Dennis, and nothing more. I don't think that he hit it that poorly.
Now you see, he's got a little bit of unwanted side on that. When you're bridging right over the top of a ball, it's so easy to miss the easiest of shots, because you get a little bit of unwanted side and it throws the ball offline. Well, Alfie, you might get a better chance. And there, straight into them, but how's your luck? He might not be on anything. He didn't get into the meat of the bunch there that he tried. And now he's faced with a tough long pot here. You see, watch where the white goes here. He went in the gap. He wanted to hit them further over. Big shot this. No. Oh, he hasn't fluked it. Can you get your breath? Well, that's incredible. Missed the pot by a mile. Scattered the reds. What a fluke that is.
Wow. Anybody hurt? as they say, you know, luck only stands out when you take advantage of it. But boy, it looks like he's, you know, it's almost going to be impossible not to make a substantial break here. And what a good line on that cue ball. Yeah, this doesn't look good at all for Stephen Hendry, but right now it's the Alfie Burden show.
Well, he'll not get a better chance because he can pot the black, he can pot the red. That's blocking the black into the left corner, and they're all there for the taking. So every chance he could win the match with that outrageous fluke.
На користь Ронні Салівана. Другій півсесії буде зіграно ще 8 фреймів.
23.
Теоретично Ронні ще може завершити цей матч. Другій півсесії, якщо виграє всі фрейми.
30. 31. $38.
Well, Alfie's already knocked out one world champion, the darling of Dublin, Ken Doherty. And every chance here that he could knock out the king of the crucible, the 7 times
46.
world champion Stephen Hendry. But he's not there yet.
$47.
Oh dear me. That, as we say, wiped its feet before it fell. Have a look.
54.
Well, that's the original miss. Missed it by a long way. And to see it go in the bottom pocket.
Sure. 55.
So what's the difference now? 43. We may need 2 more reds if he takes the yellow.
Тоді Ронні веде в цьому матчі вже з рахунком 7-4.
If he could take a red and a black, that would be enough to leave Stephen needing a snooker. And if he does go on to win the match 4-1, I wouldn't say it's a true reflection of the score. He's played very well, Alfie. But Stephen had chances and he looked good early on.
58.
But it now looks almost certain that that fluke has put him in the semi-final.
That's the one leaving Stephen Hendry needing snookers.
$66.
Okay, so it looks like Stephen Hendry, 7-time world champion, is out of this tournament. But this tournament here is the best semifinal lineup that I've seen in all the years, and just in the fact alone that you know, every semifinalist is playing very, very well, and you know, anybody can win it now. Anybody.
Yeah, the standard has been so high. It's a very talented Alfie Burden that's going to be in with a great shout of lifting the title this year. But the whirlwind and the tornado are going to take some stopping. But as I say, it's going to be 4-1, but not quite as easy as the scoreline suggests. But you can only pot what's in front of you. Okay, he had that
85.
unbelievable fluke, but he still had to knock this break in. So Stephen will come forward, congratulate him, wish him all the best. And in the end, Alfie Burden, well, he knocked out one world champion, and he's knocked out a 7 times world champion. And he goes through to the semi-final, beating Stephen Hendry by 4 frames to 1.
Alfie, 2 matches, you've beaten 2 world champions, and you're into the semi-finals tomorrow afternoon. Fantastic.
Yeah, very honoured to play Stephen tonight, actually. The king of the Crucible. And let's be honest, I've had a dreadful career, so to play him here is fucking massive for me. Sorry.
We do have to just issue a very quick apology. Bear in mind, we're in the heat of the moment. Alfie Burden through to the semi-finals. Massive achievement. Apologies for that. And Alfie, the way you came back in the first frame just seemed to settle you down straight away.
Yeah, I felt good. Like I'm hitting the ball well. Like I've practiced. I feel really good, and I'm enjoying the tournament. The table's beautiful. What's not to like?
And it's a big opportunity for you or Ben Hancorn to get into tomorrow night's final. It's going to be a great occasion for both of you.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, yeah, I'm looking forward to it and see if we can go any further.
Well done, ladies and gentlemen. You'll be seeing Alfie Burden in the semi-finals tomorrow. He is through. That concludes our penultimate day of action at the World Seniors. Join us midday tomorrow, back-to-back semi-finals. Hold on to your hats, because we start with the Tornado against the Whirlwind. See you tomorrow.
Так, зараз огляд матчів, в якому зіграє Марк Аллен, який 3-й в рейтингу, і Джек Джонс, який 50-й в рейтингу. Турнір World Championship, четвертьфінальна стадія. Так, Марк Аллен обіграв в другому раунді Бікхама з рахунком 13-4. І в першому раунді Марк Аллен обіграв Панженкі з рахунком 10-4. Джек Джонс обіграв Ніла Робертсона в другому раунді з рахунком 13-7. І в першому раунді Алі Картера з рахунком 10-7. Також в інших четвертьфіналах грає Ронні О'Саліван, Лука Берцель, Ентоні Макгіл, Сі-Джі-Ван, Джо Хіггінс, Марк Селбі. Такі граються з 25 фреймів з 3 півсесій. Так, Марк Аллен забиває червоний шар в ліву ближню лузу. Вихід на червоний шар. Так, Марк Аллен набирає 8 очок в 9-му фреймі. Так, чорний шар в ближню праву лузу. Вихід на розовий шар. І Марк Аллен виграє 9-й фрейм. І веде в цьому матчі з рахунком 6-3. Так, початок 10-го фрейму. Так, Джек Джон забиває чорний шар, вихід на червоний.